Hey, if you're new to my channel, my name is Liz. I'm a metalsmith, and today I'm making a custom piece for someone's mom. She basically gave me like creative freedom, which is my favorite custom. She just told me that her mom really likes nature and that they bond over astrology. So I asked her what their signs are. Their signs are Leo and Taurus. And she just let me basically design what I wanted to design. So here's a little plan we came up with. I'll put a closer picture of this up on the screen. I'm not great at drawing, but basically what we're going to do is make a saddle band. There's going to be a stone in the middle, and like on one side of the stone, on the band, there will be a Leo symbol, and then on the other, there'll be a Taurus. And she told me a little phrase that she wants me to stamp on the inside that is special to them. So I think this is going to be a really cool piece when it's done, and I thought I should document it. So what I did first is I printed out on my label printer, so it's like sticker paper, all of these zodiac signs, and I've already got the Taurus and the Leo cut out and put on this little tiny piece of sterling silver. I'm going to bring you guys in closer so you can see me actually cut these little guys out with my jeweler's saw. Someday I'll set up both of my cameras so that I can be also seen, but for now this is what we're doing. Okay, so first we're gonna take these drill bits. We're gonna drill out the holes in both of these little guys. So for that, I just need to take one of my little drill bits, put it in my flex shaft here, lube the guy up. 1, 2. Alright, lube this guy up. I know people are gonna judge my fingernails. Listen, metalsmithing is a dirty job, and my fingernails look like shit. I need to get this guy on the saw blade so I can cut out the middle of this circle. Thread him on there, and then you gotta push the saw so it's tight. Alright, doesn't have to be perfect because I'll fix it with a file, but there we go, little tiny hole. That's what he said. Okay, so now I'm going to take my teeny tiny files and I'm going to file these teeny tiny zodiac signs. I didn't actually show you any of me filing anything, but this part here is where I explain how smart I thought I was because I thought I came up with a great design for this band. It didn't work out so great, so just pretend this never happened. Okay, so the band that I made, terrible. Thankfully, there is a good person on Etsy who made a template. Are you gonna focus? A template. Can you see it? God, I'm really bad at this, sorry. The template has a really big oval here. So I cut it out and then I took my stencil and I found an oval that fit and I just cut around that because I didn't need that big ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm saying. It's late. We're gonna keep chugging along on this guy. I'm gonna distress this. I like to distress with sand. Just regular old sand. I'll show you how I do that. Then I'm gonna solder all the little guys on. So this is my little bag of sand. I'm almost out. I need some if anybody lives near a beach and wants to send me some sand. I accidentally burned a little hole in mine with my torch or something that was hot. So it's kind of handy because I can just pour it onto my bench block. Put the part that I want to be, you know, texturized down on the sand. I take my rawhide mallet and I just Can you see the texture? Okay, so this is what the piece is gonna look like. I don't have these soldered on yet, but that's pretty cool, right? It's like midnight-ish, and I'm trying to decide if I want to finish this tonight or if I want to stop here and finish in the morning. I don't know. Okay, I decided to persevere. My boyfriend's playing video games. I'm gonna go ahead and sweat solder these little guys onto the band. and it'll start to look like a real ring. I'm very excited. I think this ring is gonna be fucking dope.
Catch me howling at the moon.
Alright, I'm about to solder them down. I think they're in a good position. Here we go.
Water's up to my chin.
Son of a bitch.
Won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. But if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little
focus. It looks so cool. I love it already. Okay, so now I have to take this and solder it onto some 20 gauge sheet to make it like over double as thick as it is right now, make it really strong. So all of the solder that I've used up until this point has been hard flow. So now I'm gonna flow some medium flow on the back of this piece, and I'm gonna sweat solder it onto this piece of 20 gauge. I'm gonna load this guy up with some flux. Medium flow.
won't stop fighting to the very end. Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. When the sun rises, when the sun
Make sure that this is soldered down all the way around. I think it is. So now I'm gonna make sure it's nice and dry. And I'm gonna take a Sharpie. Try to find one with a point on it, but I don't have one with a point, so whatever. I'm gonna draw around this with my Sharpie. Oops. In all spots except for these ends. And then we're gonna cut it out. Ah, oh, son of a fucking bitch. Hi. Let me conceal my double chin here. This is a really bad angle. I look like fucking Mr. Potato Head or something. So I've decided that instead of trying to find a smaller Sharpie to fix the width of this band tonight, I'm gonna do that in the morning because I am too tired. So I'm gonna go lay in bed and watch Camping with Steve for a couple hours. Do you guys watch Camping with Steve?
I am going to sneak into the woods behind this police station and go camping for the night.
This ring is turning out really cool already. I'm super excited to see it finished. And we will do that tomorrow, and I will take you along for the journey. Good night. Okay, I'm back to finish this ring. I've got my cup of ice. I've got my limoncello LaCroix. I'm ready to finish this beautiful bitch right now. Is anybody else obsessed with eating ice? I think it's my anemia. And I think I got a touch of the pica. So this is where we left off last time. I said that I was going to find a thinner Sharpie, and I did that. You can kind of see here where I outlined it in a very thin Sharpie. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut on that line so the ring isn't super frickin' thick and uncomfortable. Come on, join me. Here we are in the cutting station. Oh my god, there's so much shit everywhere. This takes a lot of concentration because it is very easy to just like go off of the line and make it too thin in one spot. I hate like when you wear fun lipstick, it starts to wear off and then you just look like weird. I don't know. This thing went on Weight Watchers, lost a few millimeters. Looking a little trimmer. So I wrote stamp on my hand. I wrote that there so that I would remember to stamp the inside of this band because I've been known to forget that many times. I will like completely finish a band, completely like round it out and everything, and then I'm like, fuck, I was supposed to stamp that. So I'm not forgetting this time. Hi, we've got a new exciting angle. This is where I stamp. This is called a bench block. It's a steel block. And this is called a washcloth. I use this to kind of like muffle the sound because it's pretty loud. So what I'm going to do, since I don't want to ruin all the beautifulness on the front, I'm going to cover my bench block in painter's tape. Maybe a couple layers of it to just give it like some cushion. This painter's tape smells so good. It smells like gasoline. It honestly completely reminds me of like being at a haunted house and the bad guys are like chasing you with a chainsaw and there's that like gasoline smell in the air. That is exactly what this painter's tape smells like, and if you would like to smell it, I got it on Amazon. It's the Stick brand, STIKK. It's actually a really good brand of painter's tape if you're in the market. And if you metal stamp or you're interested in metal stamping, I definitely recommend painter's tape to keep your lines straight. And this is a good brand. It's very sticky, which you cannot say about all painter's tape because some of it sucks ass. Got a couple layers of painter's tape down, so hopefully everything will be well protected when we stamp on it. I forgot you can't see me. Hello. Okay, gotta figure out what I'm supposed to be stamping on here. What a cool angle. Hello, welcome to youtube.com. So my customer wanted me to stamp a song lyric that is very special to her and her mom, and it is, I love you in a place where there is no space or time. I used a rawhide mallet and some pliers to get these ends totally flush with one another. And now we are going to fill that gap with solder. We got to flux this bitch up. Cut up some solder. Easy flow solder. Several large chips. And then I'm just going to sit them right on the seam. Right where I want to fill it in. Okay, she's a ring. Want to see me quench her? Woo. She's hot. Now we're going to take the ring mandrel, put it on here, hope that we got a 9. It is sitting right at a 9 right now. I don't know if it's ever going to focus to let you see that. I'm going to try to make it just a little bit bigger than a 9, just because the band is so thick. Okay, it's 10:39. The next step in the process is making a little house for this stone. This guy right here. I did that off camera because my battery was dying and because it takes forever, but I'm going to show you how I did it. Shortened version. If we need bezel 101, we can do that another day, but I made the bezel for the stone. I made it far too tall because I then had to make it fit the curve of this band. I will get a close-up shot of this, but it fits the curve of the band so that it sits flush while the band is curved, if that makes sense. Put said band on ring mandrel. Take a piece of my favorite painter's tape and put it over top of the ring so you don't scratch it up. Take a piece of sandpaper, put it over top like so, and then take your bezel, take the bottom of your bezel, put it right on the ring, and just go like this for like a million years until that bezel takes the shape of the ring and sits flush. Since I went ahead and did that for us by myself, now we are ready to solder the bezel on, which was the fun part anyway. So, all right, we are almost done. This is the last step. Well, before like polishing it and whatnot. This is the last metalworking step, so that's fun. I'm gonna plop this guy in my third hand to hold it real straight, and then I'm going to pre-flux. I don't know if that's a technical term, that's just what I always call it. When you put the flux on and then you burn the flux first so it doesn't bubble up and mess up everything you're trying to do. And then I'm going to position the bezel where I want it. If I fuck this up, it's going to be really hard to fix. I think that looks good. Easy flow solder. Get out of my chair. Okay. Very carefully place the solder inside the bezel. Trying so hard not to move this even a freaking millimeter because I got it right where I want it. Trying not to even breathe on it, even though I just puffed a huge breath on it. Stressful. Okay. Why? You fucking bitch. I think it's soldered. I'm not sure if it got all the way around. I'm pretty sure that that is on there, right where it should be, and I am pleasantly surprised that that worked out so well. Look at that. That is so cool. I did that whole thing without my freaking microphone on. Good morning. It's the next day. I've barely slept, but I have to get this ring out early today. I have to make sure it gets to my customer before Christmas. It's a very special piece, and I want her to have it before then. I am cutting it too close, but it took a lot longer than I was expecting. It's a more involved piece than I had originally thought, but I think it's definitely worth it. This piece is really cool. It has been sitting in what's called the pickle pot all night long, and that is just a solution of vinegar, white vinegar, and salt, and it eats away all the dark fire scale from the piece, makes it bright white, and gets it ready to be oxidized so that there's some nice contrast. I'm not going to show you the process of oxidizing it just because I'm really tired and I don't want to bring my camera downstairs, but I'll tell you about it. So basically I just use a solution called liver of sulfur. I use the gel form. I'll put a picture up for you. It smells to high hell like rotten eggs. It's disgusting. But you just mix it with boiling water, put your little piece in there, and then it makes the piece dark, and I will show you right now. That is the oxidization. See how dark it is? Then I will take off a lot of that darkness so that just the low points stay dark and the high points get nice and shiny, and there's some really beautiful contrast. But now I'm going to set the stone. I just remembered that I have this breathe strip on from last night. Don't mind me, I am a mess. Okay, so now I'm going to set the stone. Let me bring you in closer so you can see what I'm doing. Come down here. Here's the stone. Beautiful demele. And now I'm just going to plop it right in its new home. Like so. The bezel is this wire that holds the stone in place, and you can see here that the bezel is a little bit too tall. I had to make it a lot taller so that I could do that curve thing that I showed you. So now I'm going to have to go in and sand down some of this bezel to make it the right height for the stone. Oh my god, this looks so cool. I'm not going to have to do much, actually. I'm surprised. I thought I was going to have to sand down a lot more, but I'm just going to take this little sandpaper roll on my flex shaft and just sand down the bezel a little bit. Alright, I think that's good. So now I'm going to take my bezel pusher and I'm going to push some bezel and pray to the bezel gods. I'm going in at each side, pushing it over. Then I'm going in at each corner, pushing those over at opposite corners. Just trying to keep it all spaced evenly so it folds over the stone evenly, I guess. Then it's looking like a little star, a little wonky, and you just push, come on, and you just push all the rest of that over the stone until it's nice and smooth. And you want to try to go to like opposite corner. Go here, flip it, go here. Smooth here, flip it, smooth here. Oh my gosh. It's perfect. This ring is so cool. I've said that a million times, but this is a really cool ring. Oh shit. Try not to slip and scratch your stone. This is a burnisher, and it just further helps to like really smooth down that edge that's right up against the stone. She's set. Wow. This is so cool. I love this ring. And then I always like to take my polishing lathe here and use some high polish just right on the top of the stone. So you kind of polish up like the bezel right around the stone and polish up the stone a little bit just in case you like accidentally nicked it with your bezel pusher, which happens. And then I'm going to take the oxidization off of the inside of the band. Okay, now I'm going to take you downstairs and take the oxidization off the front of this ring using pumice powder. I will show you when we get there. You're going to have to see my dirty dishes, so I sincerely apologize. But this is the last step, so let's go. Okay, so this is the pumice powder. I got coarse this last time. Sometimes I get fine. It just depends. I like the coarse though. I like to use my thumb. I just feel like it gets the best leverage. Wait for it to focus. There you go. And I just rub on the piece with my thumb and it comes off. And here's the finished piece. Sorry, the ending sucks. I didn't do an outro or anything. Thank you all so much for watching though. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you like the ring. I hope my customer's mom likes her new ring. If you'd like to see more of my jewelry, you can check out my Instagram. It's Kercraft Metal. You can also check out my Etsy. I will link it all down below. Thanks for watching. Bye!